Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan, and today we are discussing Tennessee. Yes, and I'm a Tennessee fan, so I'm going to make this an everyday thing, hopefully. Not everyday thing, every week thing. After every game that we play, I'll discuss the stuff and maybe give some previews before. Who really knows? Who really does know? But I don't know because my schedule's weird. It's a school, so yeah. But let's discuss the game and let's talk about it. My reaction to the game is not as negative as other people are thinking probably is going to be. I was not pleased by the game's performance against Austin Peay, but we won by 17. At the end of the day, we won by double digits. We played terrible offensively, but defensively, I liked how we played. I very much liked how we played defensively, and I think we got 5 sacks. How many sacks we get? I think I got up to 7 sacks. That is ridiculous at one point. We got an interception, I'm pretty sure. So, I mean, really can have so much better. Interception and 7 sacks. Really can't mention what's better defensively. Offensively, what people are talking about. And I'm going to say something that a lot of Tennessee fans do not want to take into consideration. Probably have not taken into consideration. But we kind of have to by this point. These wide receivers, we overrated. We probably overrated these receivers because I've seen Ramel Keaton. I know he led us in passing yards and he got a touchdown with 52 receiving yards and a touchdown. But let's keep it honest real quick. He has made 2 big mistakes in these 2 games. As a receiver, that's a lot. He dropped a 65-yard pass that Millen had against Virginia. And then he fumbled yesterday when we could have just ran away completely and made this look a lot better. Kept us from doing that possibly. So he's made some mistakes this year, and that's not a good thing to see. And a lot of drops are happening too. And I remember Dante Thornton dropped one, Bert McCoy dropped one. And I get that these players Joe Millen throws the ball really hard. But you've practiced with them. You've worked with them. He's been on the team for 2.5 years. You know who he is by now. You've caught plenty of balls from him. You had 3 games with him. He had no problem with this against Clemson. What happened there? Why can't we do that? I don't understand some of the stuff that we do because Heupel, and I guess his offense, wants to think that this is almost the exact same group that we had last year with Hannah Hooker, just throwing the ball around, and we run the ball second-handedly. It's balanced, but that was not the threat. The threat that we have this year is that we have an amazing 3-man duo of Jalen Wright, Jabari Small, Dylan Sampson, and Joe Milton can run. I wouldn't count him as the other one, but we'll just keep it honest. Joe Milton can run. He's very good at that, but he doesn't do it. That's the main thing. He doesn't do it. He doesn't play to his strengths. And they don't play to his strengths. His strength is not mid-level accuracy. His strength is the deep ball and the simple passes. Let's get these running backs involved. And the carries are very much split evenly. They both got 13, Jalen Wright and Jabari Small. Those are the 2 main guys. And we're talking about the averaging of Jalen Wright, 13 carries, 118 yards. He had an average of 9.1 per carry. Jabari Small, 13 carries, 95 yards, average 7.3 per carry. We're talking about these guys who can run the ball and they run it very consistently to very high margins. And it's not the only time they did it. They did it a lot last year. They did it against Virginia. And playing Florida this week, you got to play to that level of run game. Play to the run game. Excuse me, and I said this before the Austin Peay game. I don't want to see Joe Millen throw a pass until they have to. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Because this team, this offensive line can, I don't know how they're a pass offense, pass blocking. It's only to beat Florida. But this run offense is looking good. And the last year they showed it to be really good too. So they were looking very good at that also. So the stuff is not looking good at all for them. And sorry about the inconvenience. Sorry, that's my dog. We have some people working outside. So if Opie ever breaks up a noise or whatever like that, that's my dog's name. But if you have OP, that's his name. If he ever makes any noise, that is the reason why. I'm sorry about that. But Tennessee right now, they have a little bit of a problem with everything else too that's going on that not a lot of people are talking about. Two problems that a lot of people are not talking about. The receiving core is not looking that good. And the other thing is that how do I say this? They're getting a lot of slow starts. And that is also because they're relying on the pass a lot to start off. Slow starts ain't going to help you at all. They like a lot of mistakes. And because of that, I don't want them to fall behind because then they might get in their head, they might come back. They can't come back. And this is not the Butch Jones Tennessee team that could just go down by 20 and then come back like they did against Florida that year, against Georgia, against A&M. They didn't beat A&M, but they came back ridiculously. They can't do that. At least I don't think so. And I don't want them to put in themselves that position to do it. So let's just close out games to start them off, close out well, start off well, and you'll be way better off. Like last year, when you had a really good team they're facing, they played really good or great. When they're playing a very mid-level to good, like bad team, they played really good still. So they never stooped onto the competition. They still played very good no matter what. And they got to understand that is the way you play. You have to play great or good football every week. But a lot of things that Tennessee fans aren't liking is that they offensively sucked. They only scored 30 points, only won by this much. I will say to that, remember that year that Bama kind of struggled against Citadel? Remember those years that teams played bad? And I'm going to say this, at least we didn't lose like a team last year that was ranked really high did against a non-Power 5 A&M. About the year that LSU lost to Troy. We had a lot of those years that teams lost them. They had some bad losses, very bad losses against very good, against not that good teams. And I get Austin Peay is a little bit less than that. But we are fixed. Those are some teams that weren't that good that lost for their competition. And Citadel was a tied game at one point against Bam at halftime. Charleston Southern played very good against Clemson last year. That's not really good. It's not a great comparison. But you get what I'm talking about. Teams that are really good sometimes have very bad performances. It seems that they shouldn't because they're just not expecting it. And Austin Peay, if you watch the game, they just came out wild. They were running different formations. They were just rotating. They were motioning everyone from the left side to the right side. Everyone. 5 guys on the left and then 5 guys to the right. Then they did reverse plays, screen plays, deep plays off of just laterals. A lot of wild stuff happened that game. And they can't just do that continuously. Other teams just can't afford to be able to risk those type of mistakes. Like a Florida, like a Georgia, like a Bama. They can't risk those type of mistakes to have that happen. But with Austin Peay, they can just go wild. But that's my assessment of the game. I feel confident heading into this week. Ranked number 11. I think we'll do a good job. Let's go Vols. Put on the comments what you feel about this. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Hope you all have a great day. Stay safe, y'all, and God bless y'all.